Hello and welcome to our bedtime story, and tonight it's Monty and the land of the DinoDogs. It was late on our walk when we came through the woods. Cookie went off as usual, probably up to no good, behind bushes and brambles where it couldn't be seen. My sister had found a strange looking machine. Suddenly Cookie jumped in, so I got in too. I was worried as usual about just what she'd do. She was pushing the buttons with a big hairy paw when suddenly she pushed one, closing the door. I turned round to get out, but then came the shock. The door was stuck fast. I think it was locked. 2020 flashed up on a massive screen. Was this what I feared? A real life time machine? Before I could warn her, she pushed buttons once more. Now the screen changed its number to -64. The machine started whirring and spinning around and made a sort of a fast flying sound. Oh, poor Monty looks a little bit scared, doesn't he? When it finally stopped, it was quiet once more. The lights all went out. There was a click from the door. It opened itself. At first I was relieved, but when we ventured outside, I could hardly believe. We'd gone back to a time way in the past. We needed to get out of this place real fast, but the door shut behind us. This was trouble for sure, though not quite as scary as the next thing I saw. There's Monty and Cookie in the land of the DinoDogs. Just when I was thinking how far we'd gone back, I suddenly saw something that stopped me in my tracks. It was a creature from books about legends and mystery, a real dino dog from long ago in our history. It was a chihuahua saw, and it was a strange sight. I know these small guys were always looking to fight, with big ears and huge eyes, but with scales and claws. It never stopped yapping from its miniature jaws. And there he is, a little chihuahua saw. We quickly moved on, both Cookie and me, wondering what was the next thing we'd see, when out of the mist came a towering figure. Imagine a giraffe, but another half bigger. There it was, the mighty Schnauzosaurus Rex. With its massive teeth and giant pecs, a gigantic dino dog most feared, with its bushy eyebrows and funny beard. Luckily it seemed to be in a big hurry, and that was the chance that we needed to scurry, for now it appeared we'd a moment to breathe. But the next thing we saw was even harder to believe. Ahead in the distance was a familiar sight. It was Bailey for sure, but he didn't look right. Then as it got closer, I realised my mistake. This wasn't my small brother, but clearly a fake. This was a Stego Spaniel, a weird creature, dangly ears and spikes its biggest feature. It could run all day, it was fast and small, but its brain was the size of a ping pong ball. It's a Stego Spaniel. There was no need to hide, as it just ran straight past. Unlike its legs, its thinking wasn't too fast. But we weren't any nearer to getting back home. It was getting dark now, and we weren't alone. Can you see something hiding there in the bushes? Wonder what that is. The bushes were moving, something was there. It suddenly burst forward, and we weren't prepared. We knew what it was, and we knew that we could be food. Though its body was small, it had a big attitude. This was the silent hunter, the Velociraptor. It was small and fast and packed with muscle. But this turned out to be our lucky day. It was hot on the trail of some other poor prey. We moved forward cautiously after our fright. Then we felt a vibration from off to our right. We relaxed when we saw which prehistoric hound was the one who was making this rumbling sound. The Basidiodocus was designed to trek, with its really long body and stretched out neck, floppy ears, sad eyes and scales all glistening. It was really good at never listening. It glanced up at us and it trundled on by. Then it just carried on, even though we said hi. We wanted to ask if it knew the way out, but it just ignored us completely when we gave it a shout. I was getting quite nervous now in this strange land. It wasn't exactly the day that I'd planned, and it didn't get better when I heard a loud sound. Something landed before us with one mighty bound. Appearing just there with its huge floppy chops was a big bouncy chap. This was Boxeratops. It had big doggy paws and a horn on its head, but a face that was friendly and not one to dread. "Excuse me," I said, but it bounced out of view, off looking for more dino dog mischief to do. It was pitch black by now and getting real scary when I saw something near me that was big, wet and hairy. I knew we were doomed as it got nearer and nearer. It emerged from the gloom and I could see clearer. Its fangs dripping slime, its eyes wild and staring. It was sure to attack. I could see it preparing. It was just at that point that I let out a small yelp, but I knew from this beast there was surely no help. There was simply no chance someone would save us from this gunk-oozing jaws of the Bulldogosaurus. Just when it seemed no escape was in sight, I curled up in a ball and screwed my eyes tight. Then suddenly, someone was calling to me. It was Dad, and I could hear him saying, "Monty, Monty." My eyes opened slowly, and it soon became clear. I was having a dream. There was nothing to fear. I have a story each bedtime when I love to pretend of adventures and travels with a nice happy end. So I never get scared when I lay in my bed, even with all those strange stories going round in my head. I know they're dreams and they're no big deal. I imagine them all. DinoDogs aren't real. That's the story about Monty and the land of the DinoDogs. So I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you soon.